is your first time watching, checking out the channel, or not, I love you all. And thanks for being here. Okay, it doesn't really work so well without you. Um, Tonight, you guys, or this morning, we're kind of blurring lines here, really. It would be literally this morning when I'm filming this, referable to my own location. But regardless, you guys, this is a general collective message. It is a timeless message. Love and light Yasa. So whenever you find this message, please take what resonates. We do have 3 piles tonight. Pretty short and sweet. I'm going to open the channel here shortly and see what all we get to talk about. Love and light, Spoonie. Excuse me. All right. So for pile number 1, I don't really have any markers, you guys, but I will share with you one of the few cards out of each of the pile that I was told to use as essentially the marker. Okay, so this is pile number 1, you guys, and the card states to stand strong. All right. So, you might find you resonate with all of these piles. Okay, no worries, no problem, right? Doesn't have to be the case though. I tried to get as specific within reason. Okay. And what I mean by that is, okay, from one pile to the next, it's still a general collective message, right? And sometimes it would just be, if I'm being honest, too arduous, at least for me personally, excuse me, to itemize, you know, oh, you could be talking about these things or these things or these things when it gets to be too numerous, if that makes sense. So, if you do feel like one of these piles resonates and you're wanting a deeper dive, please book a session. All right. Um, Pile number two's card states the following quote, I have faith in life. Now, with these oracle cards, they're kind of limited. They're not likened to that the tarot cards, right? And what I was getting from that is that particular sentiment is something that you're learning to perhaps maintain, to hold on to. Okay, there might be a bit of a struggle there for pile number 2. Not word cursing anyone here, I'm just saying if that resonates for you, you may want to stick around for that pile. And last but certainly never least, pile number 3. And pile number 3, your card is God sustains me. Okay, now this, for those that say, no, it would never be, God, you might have another name or another way to express source light energy, right? Plug it in there. Okay, again, oracle cards kind of limited, they force you into certain aspects of text unless you're intuitive enough to understand what spirit is saying about them in the time being. And that's why I don't know about other readers, but on my channel you may see me let's say for instance we come across this card again. All right, I might have something different to say about it because of the channeling. All right, love and light, Dino lover. So those are the 3 piles, but guess what? As I often do, because I love and light my collective full force and effect, I have a collective, general collective message. All right, that has nothing to do with, or does it? Any of those 3 piles. Okay, and that card states "Live for Love." All right, and the other card that came out for this aspect of the message, you guys, came with a 38, reducing down to 11, and it says "Heal the Ouch." Okay. This first card, Live for Love, states, I infuse love into everything I do, knowing it is the force that gives life to all. I open my heart to love's power, acting with gentleness and speaking with kindness. Every thought I have is filled with love and light. I love God, all beings, and myself. I live for love. And again, for those that, maybe would never express it in the sense of I love God, God, plug in what makes sense for you there because again the card states what it's going to state, if that makes sense, but the general sentiment there nonetheless is on point. Okay, for today's spirit message. Love and light, Larry. There could be some significance to the color red, heart chakra energy. All right. um And with this healing the ouch, it's so interesting because the live for love card kind of depicts like what might be hurting there, right? It's like we are still in the repair phase, the repair process, the repair mode, right? But yet spirit, your spiritual guidance here, whether you want to say that's God, the universe, what have you, okay? They want you to be intentional with your words, thoughts, and actions, right? Feelings can come and go, ebb and flow, right? But when you are infusing love into everything that you do, it helps even in some of those more tumultuous, more emotional times. Love and light, yeah. Um, to kind of get through. You know, it's almost like if you were a pilot and you go, oh, there's a storm approaching, and you know enough to fly at a certain different type of, I don't want to say velocity, height, whatever it makes sense to say, to ultimately fly above that storm. Because as the sentiment also goes, work smart, not hard. Right? If you're working, you're gonna work hard anyway. If you're actually working, let's be honest. It doesn't matter at what. You could be working at creating a passion project. It's not necessarily like I'm just snapping my fingers and the whole project is just amazing, right? Like you gotta work. Right? But you want to do it smartly. Because you deserve that. You're already working hard. Makes sense? Okay, so with this heal the ouch, all right, there could be some significance to earth chart placements. Animal kingdom could be of some significance. You know, maybe animals just like randomly follow you when you're on a hike. You're like, all right, little buddy, skedaddle, right? You know, it's like, can't take you home. It's illegal kind of thing. There could be some significance to raccoons and or foxes. Does not have to be the case. And somebody here could be in the nursing field, right? And you could be kind of like almost down on yourself for being one of those quote unquote bleeding hearts, you know? It's almost like, okay, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, as long as you care and you can't not care, kind of thing. And Spirit saying, like, okay, it is okay to care. And the best way to know that and to see that and experience it and feel it is when you infuse love into all that you do. And let's use that example of being in the nursing field. You know, maybe obviously you're working hard, right? And thank you for those that are in the nursing field and actually do have a a caring heart to be in that field, because just because you're in any field doesn't mean you're all in, right? So thank you for those that are. Okay, you are needed. I do believe that. Um, but there's ways to perhaps not bring your work home with you. There's ways to perhaps learn to cope without toxicity. There's ways to perhaps learn to cope without projecting onto your family, your friends, whoever's around. Okay. And guess what? Your spiritual guidance team is not asking for actual perfection at this. Okay. A lot of stuff's hard here. I get that. They get it too. Okay. It's kind of designed that way to some level and measure, anyhow. So it makes sense. Right. So I'm not saying like, oh, if I've said something, you know, because of the channeling that, oh, you know, now you're triggered because like last Thursday that was you at 6:30 p.m. popping off and crashing out, right? If that were you, let's say it was, right? Just keep going. You're on the good side of karma. This is why we're having this talk, so that you can just kind of unruffle the feathers, straighten the crown kind of thing. There is some significance to the animal kingdom. It's interesting. Maybe you have a lot of pets. Every thought I have is filled with love and light. You know, that reminds me, like, thoughts, they actually become things, and here's how. If you think something, doesn't matter what, long enough, you're going to speak it out. And the longer you speak that out, gosh, the more you're just with your own special magic creating that shit. And it could be actual shit, right? So you got to watch. Do you want that? Or do you want to talk about what you know you're grateful to receive the longer you talk about it? Make sense? Be mindful. All right, so that is the overarching energy for those. I apologize. I had like an allergy attack right before coming on, so I don't know what. Um, so I'm just like, so bear with. But yeah, that's what I have as far as the overarching energy, and we're gonna get into the piles, but I'm mindful of the hour. So I'm going to, you know what? Oh my gosh, I totally forgot to hunt for that bell. I just kept stacking. Oh my gosh. All right, so we are going to. I have like no bell. That's so funny. I like. Funny thing about me is I normally, excuse me, I normally have a bell somewhere, but we're gonna use this, you guys. All right, it's the bell again tonight. Don't mind me none. But for those that don't know what a bell or like anything of some tonal significance on this channel might mean, please check the live stream rules. All right, and thank you for those that are following along. I appreciate you all. Oh. You see one thing. We're good. All right. Just checking. Thank you, Spirit. All right. So let me see here. Oh, thank you, Fiona, for putting the live stream roles into the chat, babe. Thank you. Okay, let me see here. All right, you guys, I'll just go right into pile number one. Maybe there's a leg. Love and light, Susan. And I hope you guys stick around anyway. Give me a few more minutes of your time. It helps the channel. Makes sense. All right, let me see here, Yasa. All right, so that is a yes, babe. Okay, it's a lucrative yes. All right. Now, what I want to say about this Seven of Swords, normally this is like the card for like trickery, deceit. But you guys, Yasa, this is still your reading, but everybody, okay? The swords definitely has to deal with the mental space, okay? So please don't sabotage your way out of this by getting all up in your head and twisted, okay? Accept the yes for what it is. Well, of course. And congratulations. All right, so that's what I have for Yasa. And you guys, if you can, if you could give me at least another 5 minutes, I'd really be grateful. It helps out the channel. All right, I'm mindful that it is late, so I am giving the free tarot kind of out the gate. But honestly, any way to help the channel, and it's all free. I really appreciate those that do those things. And the things are like hitting the like, sharing the video, telling a friend, right? And watching the videos on the channel when they upload. All right, I appreciate you guys. Oh my goodness. Wait, hold on one second. And you're very welcome, Yasa. Let's see here, Susan. All right. Oop, I'm looking at that Empress card. Hold on. Oop. So right now with this Page of Pentacles and oh my gosh, I put it back. Why did I put it back? The Empress. All right, I'm just getting that you and is it Brian? You and Brian have a pretty solid beginning, and so of course this person ultimately. Now I'm not saying tomorrow, right? But as far as how do I want to say this without, from what I can see out of the cards and what I'm getting intuitively, it's giving in your history, right, which has yet to happen, there is an offer, okay? I'm not getting though, because this Page of Pentacles really kind of feels like a Knight of Pentacles, so I don't know that it's like, and it could be not necessarily because he doesn't see you as wifey material or like it takes him forever to realize the obvious. It may be money, okay? Because Pentacles kind of, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure this is just talking about money. Let me stop. But that's what I got for you, Susan. Okay, love and light, positive bear. Oh, No, you know what it is though? You just need to walk away because you know how oil and water don't mix so well? So it's giving positive there and Rochelle, right? That's what I'm getting. I mean, this is a no, but this no talks about walking away, babe. All right. That's what I got for you. Said this. Love and light. Love and light. Saint Michael the Prince. Yeah, I'm very well aware of that. Didn't really need the reminder, but guess I don't mind you talking about it. Love and light. Love and light, Catherine. Could you please follow the live stream rules? If you scroll up, Fiona, our moderator on the channel, has placed them into the chat, babe. And you're very welcome, Susan. And you're very welcome, Positive Bear. All right. You guys, let me get into this first pile and then I will swing back around. So we are at 1630, we'll say, for pile number one. And pile number one, again, this was the card Stand Strong. You may resonate with, okay? You could be a Taurus, all right? And you could be in current energies, really kind of fighting the temptation of wanting some form of revenge. Doesn't have to be the case. Sometimes your chart placement will come out and sometimes not. And sometimes your chart placement will come out and something said about the chart placement doesn't resonate, and that's okay too. Only take what resonates, you guys. All right, I'm not here to confuse you. I don't like that spirit much. All right, so Leo is also a chart place of some significance for pile number one. And it could be high time you're honest with your therapist, baby. I must said buddy. I'm trying to say baby. So this could be, you know, a bro, a dude. Take what resonates that I'm speaking to. Okay, be honest. Like, why would you pay somebody to lie to them? You could do that for free, and even then, why would you want to? You know, I have questions on a personal one. I don't like liars much. You know, I also don't like that spirit. So, you know, you guys watch your words create stuff, and it could be volatile if you allow for it to be. You don't have to believe me. You could find out the hard way, but I'm just here loving and lighting you and trying to protect your path. Okay. Don't mind me none if you don't wanna. Okay, I get that too. Sagittarius. You may want to check your outlets, your electrical cords, cell phone stuff, accessories to make sure everything's on the up and up, nothing's running too hot, nothing's sparking. Okay. Just a precautionary tale, if you will. Aquarius, we have double the energy here, um, and you could be fearing about an upcoming wedding date. You know, um, like what comes to mind for me is like, you know how everybody's like, oh gosh, I hope it doesn't rain on the wedding day. You know, like, or it'll be like, I hope so and so's still alive to make it to the, you know, different things like that. I'm hearing not to worry. And some of you already have met or will meet a star of some significance. I personally don't want to say the name because I understand two things. I don't have to. And again, I don't want to. I just, you know, celebrity doesn't necessarily mean that you're somebody on the up and up. And that's an understatement, right? So, Capricorn, you may want to have a backup plan on a job. Okay, because if you have one, you might not keep that same one. And that's not a doom and gloom message because often when things like that go down, as it were, and you know you were on the right side of karma, or you know there was some unavoidable situation, or you know there was nepotism, or you know, dot, 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 right? That's a deliverance. And I know you can also just the same perhaps say it's an inconvenience. It is something horrifically scary to experience. I get that, right? But like on the back end, like there's no like period on the end of that aspect of your story. Like you're still alive, you're still capable of thriving, not just being in survival mode. And for those that are maybe going through that type of experience, okay, what you damn sure don't want to do is make survival mode any worse by really, it's almost giving that Seven of Swords energy we just talked about, that mental space, just slicing and dicing up here till you're like not functioning. And on top of it, you've got so much to do. You've got to climb out of, et cetera, right? Um, and again, there is some deep romantic connection, Capricorn, that I do believe is often on your mind. This could be connecting to this pile, but we're not really talking love, but we are talking about you. All right. That will make a little bit more sense as soon as I can get to the rest of the cards. But let me just get through this. We've got Sagittarius. Oh, I'm sorry. We did read these. Okay. I had them in my hand weird, and I was like, oh, so we didn't get to those, but we did. We're good. There could be some synchronicity to that as well, because with this Stand Strong card, you guys, for pile number one, it says the following: I remain positive, facing challenges with strength and courage. I refuse to be swayed by negativity. Standing tall, I embrace each moment with joy and peace, trusting my future is in God's hands. I believe in life because life believes in me. You can also say, trusting my future is in the divine's hand. I believe in the universe because the universe believes in me. However it makes sense for you here, right? It's interesting though. Maybe many of you do say that expression that way as quote unquote God, because I was guided to these decks and they repeatedly are, telling of that tag word I like to say. Okay. Um, some of you, this card is here because you're trying to really kind of put your best foot forward and be able to like say this with a straight face. I remain positive. Right? I embrace each moment with joy. Like, maybe I'm almost hearing somebody say, I'd love to be able to say that. you know I get it. I've been there, and it's not always easy. Why? Because life roses and candy, or whatever combination that really just gets you going. That All right. um and others, you're doing the work, right? But you know how, like, when you're doing the work, even then it can be frustrating because you just got done healing that, you turn right around, or maybe not, maybe it's 3 years down the line, you turn around, it just seems, and there you are faced with the same healing journey about the same shit, and you're like, I did the work. I am positive. I put my best foot forward. I embrace each moment with joy, and it almost becomes like this bitter resentment. And this is why we got to talk about it. And this is why, also, nonetheless, it's still a general collective message, because some people are going to resonate with some aspects of this message and others, the other parts. Oh, my throat. And what else came out for you, pile number one? Is this magic prayer card. Sorry for the glare, you guys. And it comes with the angelic code 32, reducing down to 5. And for my A1 day ones that know, you only need 1 5 to indicate, or as an indicator, from angelic realm assistance and assistance, spelled differently, to indicate life changing, life altering change. So, you're being asked to stand strong because this change is coming in. But not even just change, right? I mean, change is inevitable. This is something you prayed for, many of you, especially with the God coming through, the tag word, the name, the adjective, however you want to say, the descriptor. There we go. As God, okay? So many of you could have prayed. Others of you, you have been manifesting, doing the work, right? Um, trusting that your future is being backed by divinity, that you are being backed by divinity. Um, and you know what, you guys, for anyone wondering, for those extremely like, I was thinking about this the other day. It's like you want a whole new life, right? Many of us do. I mean, I'm not speaking for everybody. And it's like, so you thought you were just gonna what, just like do the two step, right? Like as if it's just, do two. For those that don't know, the two step is just like the most simplest dance. Old folks do it. It's like side, side, um, and all of a sudden you're just gonna be there and everything's gonna change and you're not gonna give up anything. You're not gonna lose anything or anyone. That's weird. But many of us, I'm stubbornly manifesting a new life. But at the same time, you're stubbornly holding on to your old everything or some things. And you shouldn't, because that's not what you asked for. Makes sense? You know? And, that hit me personally whenever I was getting that download in meditation, because I feel like personally I'm in a place where I am making a lot of transitions, and guess what? That means a lot of sacrifice and a lot of loss, a lot of decisions to surrender and still to believe, and still to stand strong. And so we are doing this together. Okay, I don't want anyone to think that they're alone. Let me be your tangible evidence, okay? Because a lot of us, if you're like me, you don't have anyone standing to the left or the right going, yeah, we're all in this together. Da-da-da-da. Right? But we got this. That's why this is important. That's why I really ask you guys to support this channel and to tell others. Because many of us do not have people standing anywhere near us. And even if we do, they're not our people necessarily, right? We are to be in this world and not of it. We are the light. I'm not saying you can project just simply and solely that light all the time. Wouldn't be appropriate all the time, makes sense? But even then, when you're being that mirror and asking someone to look at their sick toxicity, to look at the way that they are angry, to look at the way that they are projecting, to look at the ways that they are not acting in good faith, right? That is an act of love. That is karma. For who I'm speaking to, I'm not speaking to the narcissists, right? Okay. So continue to do this work. Pile number one, your prayers are coming through, as it were. Your manifestations are coming through. Now, here's your next steps, though. But let me just read this oracle card because it's an oracle card. Okay. It says repressed and suppressed feelings require counter energy to keep them submerged. It takes energy to hold down our feelings. As these feelings are relinquished, the energy that had been holding down the negativity is now freed for constructive uses. There is an increase in available energy for creativity and growth, work, and interpersonal relationships. So it sounds rewarding on the back end, right? But the sacrifice for many of you, connecting to pile number one, this is not me intending to word curse anyone. This is me intending to be clear about what is my hair doing? Maybe resonating with pile number one. Sorry, it's like bothering me. Okay. Um, you're not somebody that necessarily outwardly expresses what you got going on in here. I'm not saying that you're unemotional, and I'm not saying that you're termed easily unemotionally available. But as far as your emotions, you would rather keep them to yourself, pray about them perhaps, alchemize them perhaps, right? And you expect yourself to almost kind of like do this always and always alone. First of all, you can't. Second of all, you shouldn't. Also, first of all, you shouldn't. Because you don't have to and you're not meant to, right? But one way that is hurting your magical prayer coming through, okay, um, is that you're avoiding going into the deep within. And really, no one else outside of you can help you with that. Pile number one. Okay. Some of you, you have rage, and I get it. I've had to alchemize rage to the point where it's like, um, this is a bit of a process. Like, this is, deeper and scarier than I thought. Think of a screaming wraith, just in the mental space, like, right? And maybe about some very valid triggers, experiences, happenstances. Okay. But so what of it? You can't stay stuck there. I mean, I guess you could. Should you? Hell no. Right? Do you have to? No, you don't. Unless you tell yourself and wholeheartedly believe that you have to, then you most assuredly will stay in that state. Um, so, your spiritual guidance here, part number one, is to really kind of explore what really is and what all really is in there. This makes me think of there's an artist named NF. He's a rapper, and he's got this one song about the rooms in his mind or his head, many rooms. And, you might want to look up NF, just the two letters. I don't even think there's like periods with them. And look up whatever song that's talking about in the lyrics rooms. Okay. You may resonate with that. Now, I don't offer you that song in the sense of, hey, stay there, but I offer you that song for whoever resonates with this to assist you to get there. Does that make sense? So, because here's the thing, you guys, you're unintentionally, right, wasting energy. Perhaps you might want to say time. That's a little variable, but energy, right? And so your spiritual guidance team does not want to watch you drain out and drain out needlessly. Again, going back to the sentiment of work hard, not smart. You're going to be working, you've got work to do. This is new earth, right? But it's even like exercise, right? Like I was in jujitsu earlier, right? And they're all talking about like, hey, work smart, not hard. It's like the theme of the day, actually. Like, if you can leverage off of somebody else's body part, then do that. Because otherwise, you're going to be tired by the end of that fight, like, and tired perhaps too fast, right? So it's really about maintenance, balance, and the way that you can do that is listening to your higher self as well as your body, right? And do the research. Hey, if my such and such is aching, or oh, this point of my leg when I get to this point really hurts. Do the research, because many of you could find, for perhaps, I'm not suggesting you have to, right? But what if you found that you were angry, right? Then what if after you checked into your body, you realize, oh, these points that are really ouchy in my body are angry points, come to find out when you do the work, right? On the other side of doing that much work, you start really taking this shit serious. Like, wait a minute, I deserve to have a good life. My body does not deserve this kind. We're gonna actually regulate the whole situation emotionally, and cortisol levels come down. You're living healthfully. This is what it's meant by, you know, um, it takes energy to hold down the feelings you're suppressing, and it's taking away from your energy budgets elsewhere and ultimately your pentacles. Nobody wants that, okay? Now, who am I talking to for pound number one? I did pull some cards for how you may look. Does not have to be the case. I just got a little bored with the initials, you guys, so bear with, okay? Pound number one, you could be a man, and if that is you, you could have to wear suits to work, or you like to wear suits, and they could be brightly colored. Somebody here could have straight hair, whether it's long or not. Somebody here could have a square face for pound number one. All right. Somebody could be lighter skinned for whatever their ethnicity is, or they just have pale pallor type of skin. And tattoos also came out. Could be some significance to the moon phases tattoos. All right. And that's what I have for pound number one. All right. So the bell has rung again. Well, our bell for right now, bear with you guys, it's not the normal bell. When I said money, I'm not sure what your reference is, babe. But long story short, I can tell you this, Susan, and anyone who cares to hear. When your life, when your mental health, when your physical health is outside of balance, it can damn sure affect your money. Think about it. Well, the easiest reference here would be physical health, perhaps. Let's say all of a sudden you realize, oh, I have not taken care of my body and now I'm, severely infirmed. but the boss is calling you in, right? It's like, oh, that doesn't go together so well without a lot of pain, right? If you can even still try to function, if you can even get through that day, that shift, okay? Same deal with everything else. If your mental health is outside of balance, not to be rude, but you wouldn't be as high functioning as your ultimate potentiality, right? And for some, that maybe does mean medications. Others, it could mean therapy, right? I'm not poo pooing those. I'm just saying, see how doing the work. Some people feel that they need a therapist, and I'm not judging those people. I'm not saying don't go to therapy, right? But let me finish the rest of the. Some people feel that they need a therapist in order to almost give them a licensure to do the work. Does that make sense? And it's almost kind of like how, because me coming out of the religious sect community, right? It's almost how like people would use church. It's like, well, I can't really talk about my emotions until I'm at church. I can't really give it to God until I'm at, and it's just a really boxed in, closed off perception. All right. You guys connect to the source. So you always have, excuse me, the essence of God with you, in you, around you, however you want to say that, as well as protection of same. Okay. So just like with the therapist, okay, let's, not to take God out of anything, but to focus back on the therapist, you always have you. It's up to you to put your coach hat on, because a therapist can just sit there and make notes and say, and make suggestions, and you can just go home and do whatever the hell you wanted to do, anyways, which could be nothing at all if you are stubborn about making change. And so, what of it? All right, you guys are capable of doing the work. You are capable of believing in yourselves long enough to do the work long enough. All right. And by the work, shadow work. For anyone that's going, what's the work? What are we working on? Shadow work. Okay. Look up Christina Lopes, last name spelling Lopes, for those that aren't aware of her. She has a phenomenal free library content. Okay. I don't know her personally, but she has personally helped me through that channel, at least. Not personally, I guess. But I digress. All right. Um, ooh, I don't know what the Bro Cruise Bachelor Trip or Bourbon Bougie is. I do know Weezer. That's pretty cool. Um, I guess it wasn't meant to be Spoonie. Um, all right, so let's get into pile number two, right? And we're gonna say 38 even for pile number two. Pile number two, okay, for the chart placements, we've got Aries. And for anyone wondering, if you can make your parents proud, if you have made your parents proud, if you will ever make your parents proud, you do, you do, okay? Scorpio, you could have had, gosh, I hope this is not the case, but you could have had a recent national, or excuse me, hello, natural disaster, okay? There's so much going on in the world. You never know, guys. That could be for somebody, but I hope not. So we had Scorpio, we've got Pisces. Pisces, please, if this is you, I'm not saying it is, do not fear dying alone, okay? And I know the old adage is like, you came into this world alone and but you really don't need to fear anything, including death, right? When you do this work, you guys, and you start to realize exactly who you are, you start to understand exactly how to be the observer and not just take everything in and absorb it. All right, you'll get there. For those that somebody is saying this is, I don't know, you'll get there. Right, just stay connected. I promise you'll get there. Okay. So, oh, what's on my shirt is Prince. Yeah. um So, okay, we've got Cancer. And for anyone wondering, okay, your sex life is going to make a turn for the better, right? Maybe you don't have one at all. Gosh, I know about that life. That's okay. We got Cancer coming out twice. All right, double the energy. This is so funny. This card says you will have an orgasm. Oh, yes, you will, Cancer. All right, as you should. All right. No worries there. That's so funny. But, energies currently, okay, literally sad embrace card. I don't know why this makes me think of Jack Frost. You could be connected to the Fae, for sure, for sure. The Fae could be part and parcel of your spiritual guidance team. Outing you here a bit, pal number two. Doesn't have to be the case, just saying. And look at this 54 and 45. Okay, so you could be seeing 9, 9 as well, or either of these numbers as angelic significance. All right. And there could be some significance as well to giraffes. They're so cute. Um, maybe you could be like cute and all, but if you've got to really kind of show somebody like who all you can be, you kind of get a little dangerous. And the reason why I say that is because giraffes to me are so cute, but like they can kill with ease in just one fell swoop, and of all things, with their fucking neck. For those that don't know, it's not even like a leg. They're not even kicking. They're just their neck. Won't just bat you down. You're dead, right? Whether animal or human. Isn't that crazy? It's kind of cool. So again, your card was I have faith in life, and you could be struggling here. All right. Hopefully not, but irregardless, surrender to life and live fully in the present here, pile number two. All right, trusting that the divine, God, as it were, is always near, kind of like what I was just talking about. Allow your faith to surround you with light no matter what is happening in the world. Okay, natural disaster, national disaster, whatever. Okay, release your worries, knowing that life, the divine, God, Goddess, however you subscribe here, will always provide what is best for your soul. Okay. And I love that the card states that way, at least, because a lot of times we and you have good intentions for your life usually, right? I'd like to say, especially if you're manifesting or praying for something. Okay, you're not praying for your own downfall, right? And I've never heard of that. I've heard of people praying for others downfall, which is also insane, right? But I feel like it would be insane as well to pray for your own downfall, like duh. Okay, and please don't be that one, because you could be praying for somebody else's downfall and they're connected right to the source. Now, how do you think that's, whether it's you or another person that you're praying on? Okay, don't be that one. You got to watch. Um, so, every life experience, no matter how tragic, contains a hidden lesson. All right. So, I get pound number two. Oh my gosh, this is somebody something because my nose is doing that thing and that's so annoying. Um, Sorry guys, I'm like going through it on the live. Was I? I was told I had to come on. I'm doing it. Okay. So long story short, pound number two, you could be quite flustered, I guess is the word. Like it's like again, this damned if you do, damned if you don't. And not for not trying, because you know you're a good person, and you know you try to put your best foot forward, and you know you try to love everybody, whether you can understand them or not, and blah 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 blah. But at the same time, that whole energy, like about straight facts that you could be spitting out or thinking, right, is telling the universe like you're not comfortable with those facts to the point where you're almost, I don't want to say this because it wouldn't be alchemizing, wouldn't necessarily be projecting, but you're creating an experience where the universe goes, okay, you want more angst. You want more inconvenience, huh? Because you're so focused on it, you don't stop talking about it or thinking about it, right? You call up your girl and you say about it some more. Sometimes you dreams about it because it's just ruminating in that subconscious because you didn't talked and thought and talked and thought about it, right? When we discover and acknowledge the gift that is the fact that healing can take place, that's when you start to kind of get into a balanced Zen like state, into that birth rate energy, which is calm, peace, and serenity. That's when you know when you're operating in calm, peace, and serenity that you're balanced, that you're grounded. And many of us do know it's like, oh, you could even just wake up in the morning, you're like, I am not grounded. We got to fix this, right? But for those that don't know, okay, you really do need to check into self and be honest when you do. How are you feeling? Why? Do you know? Maybe you don't know. And if you don't know, ask your guides for help. Hey, Archangels, feeling kind of crappy. Please, thank you for your assistance. Da 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 da. Right? Something's not working. You're at the workplace and the copy machine. For the love of God, the millionth time is just trying to glitch out. Hey, Holy Spirit, the copy machine, blah blah blah. Right? And you just ask because you can. You have the right to. You should. And the more that you ask, I mean, I'm not guaranteeing like every time you go, hey, uh, Archangel Michael, like a $5,000 check today. I'm not. I bet you on the back end of at least a few years you're gonna get that right, but I can't guarantee that you'll get it overnight with the snap of a fingers. Again, we're always working at this, and there's levels to this, even manifestation, you guys, and many of you all already know that. Okay, but you need this reminder, like even the experiences where hey, you asked Archangel Michael for that $5,000 check yesterday, it didn't come 3 weeks from now, right? That there's a lesson in there. Okay, especially regarding money, you guys. Are you trusting the divine to bring it in? Are you trusting that the divine will bring it in spite of no money coming in? Ooh, that's for somebody. Because when you tally all the times that you got a free meal, right, that you got a free ride, that shit was on sale mysteriously and miraculously, you're gonna add up to more than that check amount that you were asking for. Are you still going to be the one to complain because it wasn't in check form? You couldn't see the five and the zeros together, even though you were getting more than that from perks of being connected to divinity? Watch your attitude of gratitude there. All right. So, you're being encouraged as well with the giraffe energy. And of course, those two nines do speak to a new beginning, it speaks to a turnaround. And you might more aptly state a divine assisted turnaround. Now, we're not here with aces because this isn't a tarot deck. These are oracle cards, but the message stands. Okay, so you're frustrated right now. I get it. Straighten your crown, bend yourself if you gotta, ground yourself for sure. You deserve that. You should always be. It's a maintenance thing. It's part and parcel of the self care, self love lifestyle. It's like, am I grounded today? Let me check. Gotta be honest. Okay, and maybe you find out, yeah, no, this is, we're good. Okay, cool. I love that for you. All right. Now, who am I talking to? Perhaps, all right, if your features, aesthetics, and whatever else aren't on these cards, but you know that the message resonated, pile number two, same deal with pile number one, then so be it, okay? Somebody here could have exaggerated features. Somebody here could have short hair, a sharp face about themselves, and or perhaps a beauty mark or mole, okay? And that's what we have for pile number two, okay? Love and Light, the Mountain Philosophy. Could you please scroll back up in the chat, babe, and look for Fiona, who had placed the live stream rules, and then I got you, I promise. Much love and light. Um, Love and Light, Big Dong Dada. All right. And Love and Light, the Mountain Philosophy, of course, of course. Who else is in here? Let's see. I think we got everybody. Love and Light Vanderbilt. I'm not sure if I spoke with you or not. I know I spoke with Positive Bear, Susan. Love and Light Catherine. All right, let's see here. Thank you, Fiona, for your hard work. Gosh, I don't know what. I'm grateful I missed whatever that was. So thank you, Fiona. Sheesh. Fiona was over there like, pew, pew. Go ahead. All right. All right. So you guys make sure that the formatting is good after you follow all the other prompts. All right. It just helps me see like from afar, especially on the cell phone, you guys, who's actually talking to me for the free tarot and not just like with me or at me or to somebody else, if that makes sense. Sometimes we have like a whole queue and I'm like, I gotta keep up. So that's why we have the rules. Okay. Um, so it's the Elder Barge. That's so funny. That would be funny if I had an Elder Barge shirt. Elder Barge. You guys, did you know I used to want to be like a radio person? Like I used to want to, because I love music so much. And whenever I was, I'm trying to think, how old would I have been? Let me see. Ooh, probably in the age of like 7 to 9 years old. Me and my cousins, we kind of grew up because our parents were always co-parenting us because everybody was single moms in the family, right? So we kind of grew up at times as like brothers and sisters would. So we were together a lot and bored a lot, and we would play radio. We do the weather. We had crash reports and shit. We were, oh my god, it was so fun. And we would record it on cassette tapes and then play it back and listen to it the rest of the day. Like we're all like, yeah, we're amazing. That was so fun though, and I'm pretty sure Elder Barge was in that lineup. That was probably me. I probably put Elder Barge. I have not seen Elder Barge in a minute, but hey, as they say, well, I don't. Hold on, let me check because I don't want to say the wrong ethnicity because I don't know. Maybe he's Spanish. I was about to say black don't crack, but how black is he? Is he black? Yeah, no, he's definitely Spanish. Elder Barge kind of thugging in where he at St. Louis. He kind of thugged out here, bro. He got his chain and look like he knows some folks. Let me stop. All right. Okay, let me see here. Wait, hold on a second. In the Himalayas. Oh man, that sounds fabulous, but that sounds hard AF. In the Himalayas. Hopefully you're on the mend here at least, if not fully healed up there, the mountain philosophy. All right, let's see here, babe. Thank you for checking the rules and following along. Okay, let me see here. Oh, why are my cards clumpy tonight? So, yes, okay. And literally, the card at the bottom of the deck is talking about lighter days, calmer waters. Basically, like, you got this. Okay, you will have the strength. Okay, so good job. Oh, his daughter is married for SNL. Oh, wait. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry, Spoonie. Oh, I'm sorry that happened. Um, okay, so we got the question. We got the question. Okay, wait. Is somebody being ostracized by bio family? I'm just gonna okay, I'll just give you an answer here because I don't fully understand that question. But let me see here. Let me see here, Spoonie. Yeah, there is something about family. All right, so essentially trying to keep you from this is kind of like if they had a dinner, right, at so and so's house, whether a matriarch or patriarch, it's like, no, don't, invite Spoonie, kind of thing. or like if somebody had a wedding or engagement party, things like that. That's what I'm getting. I'm not exactly sure I fully understand your question, but that is definitely fully your answer, Spoonie. Love and light, babe. All right, so I guess that would be yes. I'm not exactly sure. Being a perpetuator of ancestral party, I'm not exactly sure what that means because we are ancestors. We are the ancestors. But I mean, the message stands. Like, I'm not manipulating the cards, and you're also confirming it makes sense. So we're good there. Okay. All right. Let me get into pile number 3, you guys, to close out. At least, please. Okay. So we're gonna say that is that. I'm gonna wait until I'll say 55, or I meant to say 56. Okay. So we have Aquarius, and you guys might be on TV soon. Okay. Or you have recently been on TV. Leo is a chart placement, a chart placement of some significance, and you could be pregnant, about to give birth, or you will give birth. In case you were wondering, like, will I ever have a child? Yes, you will. All right. So, part number 3, you could resonate with being a Virgo, and you could be. You're either coming out of a heartbreak type of situation, or perhaps entering into one. Fair warning. All right, Pisces. You could be, because of goings on, current energies and emotions, losing your libido. Okay, you gotta watch that ground. You deserve to have a libido, babe. Okay. But you know, when you're so stressed, it's kind of like I was talking about a few moments ago in the cortisol level. When things are just off kilter, you are not balanced mentally, physically, emotionally. It damn sure would affect that the libido. Okay, so you gotta watch and do the work if that's you. Pisces, you could be manifesting or just heading on down to the surgeon's office, plastic surgery. And for those wondering, like, is that either acceptable? Is that appropriate, and or does it end well? Yes. Okay, it ends well for you. And the double Capricorn energy, you guys, for pile number 3. Um, you could be someone who is very family oriented, Capricorn, specifically your parents, right? I say it that way because you could have like siblings and maybe you don't really get along with them so much, but like mom and dad are like staples to helping you emotionally regulate. Okay, you could be neurospicy. Oh my gosh, my nose, this is somebody's truth. And you could have had, Capricorn, already seen a ghost, or you may, fair warning, not a doom and gloom, but see another one in your recent future. One moment, you guys. Oh my goodness. Apologies. Oh, sneeze attack. Okay. So, for pile number, again, your card was God sustains me. I thought this was a beautiful picture. Like, could you imagine looking up in the sky and seeing something likened to that? I mean, maybe not, maybe more cloud-like for the figure, but that's pretty neat. I love to look at the clouds, you guys. I forget what that's called when you kind of like scry through the clouds. I've done that since elementary school, as far as I can remember, as far back as I can remember. So this card says, God sustains me. Maybe you don't agree with, the word or the name God, right? Plug in whatever you need there. Um, by surrendering each day to God, my worries fade and my resistance softens. In God's loving embrace, I find inner peace, even in the face of challenges. Today, my faith strengthens me, and I welcome all that comes, knowing God's love sustains me. Okay. And current energies, you're really looking at this crossroads. Okay, you might want to also say, instead of crossroads, a dark night of the soul experience. For those that don't resonate with that, this could be a level and measure of disappointment, causing you to feel undone, unsettled, okay, unbalanced. And your Oh, and I wanted to say this angelic code 46 reduces down to a 10, really talking about endings and new beginnings. And that could also be why you feel undone, off kilter, imbalanced. It kind of makes me think of, and I think that was Capricorn energy as well, for maybe it was pile two, regarding like a job loss. Okay, that'll definitely at least give you the opportunity to feel off kilter and off balanced, right? But at the same time, I recall indicating it clearly as a form of deliverance, okay? And so, even with this kind of current energy, pile number three, there is a bit of necessity attached to it for the experience. Some things you can't really know and be confident in the knowing without an experience. Makes sense? So, you can't. Um, you don't what you don't want to do is get through the experience begrudgingly, because you're just going to make it less of a pleasant experience, even if it already feels unpleasant. Does that make sense? Like, I get it, nobody's going to be hopping and skipping around and going, everybody, I lost my job, I'm so happy, it's amazing. Like, I get that, right? But again, be the observer and be stubborn in your faith. Again, we talked about, even with pile number one, it takes energy, all right, to really stay on the not so positive way of thinking. And it's like, in that time, we're still with this hypothetical of this job loss. In that time, you would need to be instead in some sort of critical thinking mode. What's the backup? Where can I go? Do I have to go to perhaps the county office? Things like that, right? Because that type of use of your energy would bode you much better than spiraling out, crashing out, getting angry at God, and sulking, on the couch, in the bed for the next, 38 days. All that while you're not making any money. Make sense? Okay. So, and really, it's not even all on you to make money. Love and light, Laura. Okay, because this whole card, really the general sentiment for you, pile number three, okay, whether you resonate with a job loss or not, is talking about the sustenance that you already have. You've been stamped approved, worthy. Who cares what the bank's saying? God, the divine, are saying you are worthy. You have been checked over and you are deemed fit to receive what? Sustenance. So, stop being that one, if this is you, thinking that you've got to create always and in always sustenance. Because you're not here to do that. That would be probably, not to be rude to us, okay, not to be rude to all of mankind, etc., etc., but that would probably be a setup for failure if it were that kind of templated experience or situation or life. Just saying, okay? So, again, divine forces understand you, know where you are, have created you, have sustained you already, even before you were receiving this message. All right. And you've got to be honest about that. Why? Because you should be an honest person. All right. But also, you being honest about that creates a better foundation for you to remain faith filled, especially if you're already knowing, oh, I've been fighting, to be positive about the idea, right? The divine forces would check me over, find me fit and worthy, and give to me. And when you're thinking like that, you're blocking off the access to all that the divine has for you, inclusive of the protection, inclusive of the what I like to lovingly term like easing balm, right? Like when you've got to get through those experiences and you're there for a lesson, and you know, but you don't have to necessarily take every blow that comes your way, because if you are in the right frame of mind, if you are being stubborn in a faith filled perception instead of a toxic filled negative perception, right? Chances are you're going to see way more evidence of the fact that you are sustained, and you're going to work a lot less hard, okay, at maintaining that functional sustainability, maintaining a level of foundation that allows for you to feel safe and allows for you to really, things like shelter come to mind, right? Literal stability, okay, is at stake if you are thinking in ways where you are not stable and you do not have and you are lacking and the divine doesn't care and there is no such thing as divine assistance and you're blocking that. Stop that. Point number three, okay? Once the experience of peace, okay, once the experience of peace has occurred, we are no longer a victim of the world. Again, I remember remarking about you are in the world but not of it, right? That was another pile. With continual surrender, we begin to experience these states of peace. It's interesting. There's multiple states of peace to have access to. You want some of that? All right. With continual surrender, we begin to experience these states of peace with ever increasing frequency. Going high, babe. Vibing high. It's a lifestyle. All right. When the clouds are removed, and it's so funny that this card should talk about clouds. This card is so damn cloudy, right? When the clouds are removed, the sun shines forth, and we discover that peace was the truth all along. Surrender is the mechanism that uncovers the true nature of our existence. So, you cannot get to that point of official observer and ex absorber until you really kind of get to this level of frequency and, dare I say, peace. Okay. Understanding that surrendering perhaps who you are, perhaps some old beliefs, right? Perhaps it feels like everything you've ever known and had, okay, in a lot of ways, or to some people, right? The sacrifice of knowing the truth. And I feel like personally it's designed that way so that not everybody and their mama can have the full gambit of the truth and run with it and turn it for evil. Makes sense? I know one time I was meditating on the beach and it was a pretty fate filled session, if I do say so myself. I saw literally sacred geometry and it was everywhere. And I was like, wow, that's really like what. And, Holy Spirit told me then that there's no way that there is such a design, blueprint, or template where all powers of divine forces are inside one vessel, whether guy, girl, what have you, on this earth, because there wouldn't be any balance in that. That's how much balance is, I want to say needed, but really, I think it's more aptly stated required, expected, perhaps, especially when dealing with divinity. Okay. And unless and until you do that work to get to that vibrational frequency, that level and measure of discipline, perhaps spiritual discipline, it's a thing. Okay. You're not really going to unlock all of those keys to access to all of the greasing balm, I'd like to say, that allows for you to just kind of flourish on your path with great ease. I'm not here saying, oh, you can't flourish on your path. I would never sit here and say that with a straight face because you can. You always have the option, all right? But you got to do the work. Makes sense? You got to do your part. You don't have to do the work always and in always alone, all on your lonesome. Gosh, that wouldn't be fair, nice, kind, or loving, would it? All right. So divine didn't set you up for failure. Again, I can't say it enough tonight, you guys. All right. But once the experience of peace has occurred within your vessel, within your mental space, heart space, and life, okay, you understand, whether you want to call that breaking free from the matrix or not, you're no longer a victim of this world. All right. And you are to essentially, with this follow the leader card, keep going. You're divinely protected with this. All right. This 40 energy here, the energy of both God and the angels. Zero is the number of God. It's an infinite number, infinite protection of divine forces, aka archangels, and the angelic realm, as well as your higher self. Okay, you're connected to all of that. Makes sense that you can trust your higher self perception and intuition. You can trust the personality of your higher self. You may find that there are differences, but when you start to operate out of those differences, you realize you're fucking changing your life for the better like never before. And in spite of even maybe perhaps have all, feeling like you've always worked at changing your life. There's levels to this, you guys. Keep going. That's what I got for pile number 3. And as far as who I'm talking to, you could be, whether guy, girl, what have you, have a beard about the face. You could have coarse hair, curly hair. Asian has come out as well for pile number 3. Somebody got some bazooms, perhaps. Somebody here could be a mature male. Again, there's that beard, so it's double the energy of that, or double the confirmation. And there's piercings. All right, so that's what I have for pile number 3, you guys. Or the light cat goddess. So final call for our bell tonight, you guys, and then I'm gonna hop off and rest out the rest of my morning. I wanted to say evening, but I got on here so late. Gosh, it's 11106. And literally that translates to and ties in quite nicely with this message that if you balance out your energy, your perception, if you do this work that we've been talking about, again, shadow work, you're most assuredly already signed up for a successful new beginning. Okay? Can't say it enough, you guys. It just is what it is. You're on the great side of karma. I don't know why my hair is like doing that weird. Ugh. I guess it's the hood. I like the hood though because it's big. Some of them are like, I'm like, oh my god, was this for a child? Like, I'm like, what? Anyway, you know what, Spoonie? If I were you, I would try to focus forward. If you are looking in the past, it should be with an intention to heal at this point. Because otherwise, you're kind of technically re triggering yourself and then getting like in, rightfully so, I get it, some form of emotional state, but the emotional state doesn't help you like alchemize that if you're staying stuck or ruminating on aspects of being a victim. Okay. And I'm not saying it like, oh, how dare you think like you should ever think like that. I'm just trying to get you to reroute yourself out of that because you don't deserve to stay in something that you are no longer in, especially if you're talking about abusive events. All right. I'm very sorry that happened to you. I do hope that if and when you do have the chance to talk to maybe a therapist, that you do express that you would like to work through those, some of those events. But I just don't want you to get stuck in the past there, especially when it is so horrific, if that makes sense. And I think I can't speak for everyone, but I think a lot of us have certain things that we could write books about, and so please don't think that I don't either, because I do. And I'm still here saying, the intention, we're in New Earth, right? So, like, New Earth shouldn't for any one of us look like, and back in 1997, Jimmy drove his car over my foot because he didn't want me to go to the store and spend money on my groceries because he wanted drugs. Like, we're in New Earth, so you gotta focus forward and create what you want. Otherwise, you're telling the universe, hey, I want more of this because I'm thinking, and I feel like I just said that a few moments ago. So I really hope you are soaking in the messages. Okay, maybe go back to your personal message a few more times. I think you went through it once. Just get what you can out of this and keep going, because otherwise, I don't want to see you spin out, and I say that with love. Okay, but I see you paragraph after paragraph on here, and I want to be sure that you're moving forward and not just trauma dumping on yourself as well as perhaps others. Okay, and that's not me being cruel, cold, or callous. I would tell anyone that, and I have told several people something similar because I believe they needed to hear it, and I am a caring person, right? Oh man. So you think I was talking about your sister? She could have been I mean, you're definitely attached to the collective, Fiona, right? I don't remember what all I said though. If that makes, I'm sorry. I don't want to lie about that. I channel so much, and it's not, you know, even sometimes like right now, like you could ask me like, oh, you said something in pile number one. I don't know. Like I try my best to remember, but me personally, I don't. You'll hear me make references, and it's through the channeling that I'm able to do that. So, um, Love and Light, Dishin Governor, can you please read the description box for the live stream roles, or scroll up, babe, to find out where Fiona last put them in the chat so that you can get your free question, babe. Thank you. Um, Okay. So that all came up in the past 24 hours or so. Okay, that's very understandable. Eat me. Oh, I'm sorry, you're spooning right now. I just want to be sure you're not staying stuck there, okay? Because that can be scary, and I don't want that for you or anyone. So, still take the sentiment and take heed to what I did express to you, and you got this, okay? You guys don't give up. All right, well, let me see here. Yeah, Susan, you can't. Okay. You guys, for anyone combating fear, you got to realize fear is false evidence appearing real. You have to realize fear is also an agreement to receive what you don't want. I mean, literally. Literally. Oh my gosh, I hope. I literally did this to myself as a child, right? Like, I can't remember the book, but there was a book in my elementary school library, and it was all about, like, this kid getting their tonsils out, and like the perk was he got to eat a lot of ice cream because of his throat. And though I loved ice cream, right, I was just like, oh no, like, and I remember talking to my mom about, like, I was real nervous about this book. I don't want to have my tonsils taken out. Do you think I'm sitting here with tonsils right now? I'm not. I have no tonsils. Okay, that's just me out myself. I used to not know these things. I want you guys to get it so you get it and know and live better. Because in a lot of ways, I mean, I damn sure won't say my life is perfect, okay? But in a lot of ways, I'm living better, even emotionally, right? And physically. I'm not lying. I'm not lying to you guys. So when I talk to you like I expect that you can get this, it's because I believe you can, whether you believe you can or not. And it's also because you should, okay? Um, Fear doesn't do anything or anyone any kind of good. So if you know, okay, well, if in these scenarios or if these things happen, I'm just going to be triggered into fear, then you need to realistically find ways that work for you, whether it's watching videos, Googling, talking to fucking AI if you gotta, right, to figure out what works for you as far as coping mechanisms. Some people could be tapping, other people it's going for a walk or a run, right? Etc. etc. And you got to do whatever the hell works for you over and over and over and over again. But while you're doing that, please be sure to always get to the root cause. Why is this a fear? Sometimes fear can come in because of things that your ancestors have gone through, and it's kind of bred into you a bit as far as your physical meat suit. Others, it could be past life energy, right? Other times, it could be that you're picking up on some form of residual energy. Battlefield energy comes to mind. It could be hiking in a state park, and all of a sudden you're like, whether you see anything or hear anything, it's the feeling of I'm fighting for my life, and you're fearful. You might logically try to pass it off as, oh, well, I guess I just thought I would stumble upon this rock. But in reality, you're sensitive because you're at least an empath. You could be a medium even, maybe don't know it, right? So I generalize fear a lot, but I'm not unmindful for those wondering that there could be many reasons why somebody would fear. I have also participated in many reasons to fear, and I've feared a lot in my life to the point where others remarked about it and made fun of me for being so fear filled. And I was in my adulthood. I'm still in my adulthood, but just saying, this wasn't me being a baby crying over a lollipop. Just saying, okay? I get it. And and is don't give up, okay? Because you can do this. Love and light, lion, teach you. Um, I said an offer of money. I said the pentacle was small. Can you scroll back, Susan? Unless the live stream glitched, the page of pentacles, I said, felt like the knight of pentacles, which is the slowest knight in the deck. And I said, this page, the pentacle is small, so it might take him a while to actually come in with an actual offer, not because necessarily he doesn't see you as wifey material, but because money. That's what I said. All right. Okay, let's see here. Edition cover. Okay, we can do a job this year in a position. Okay, let me see. Well, you're gonna see if you get a new job, because that's you're asking me two questions in one. You guys are so funny. Come on with those slick questions. I get it every now and again. It's no, I'm not picking on you. It's just funny because it's like, dude. I think I was talking to Alphonse about that the other day. Like, how are you gonna ask me two questions? It got me working all extra hard on a free tarot message, you guys. All right, so either way, who cares? Because it's going to be like a great ending with more money, right? This is the most amount of pentacles that you can get in the deck, all right? Um, but with this Eight of Cups energy at the bottom of the card, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say it's going to be a new job and not actually at that current position. All right, that's what I got for you, Edition Governor. Love and light. All right, so you're very welcome, Susan. Okay, so Laura, I'm not exactly sure what you missed, babe, but if you have a question, you can pop it in now, because if not, your girl is... I don't know how to answer red or not. Red or not. I'll just give you a card. So we gotta know. All right, this could be about a soulmate. This could be about... you're giving to someone, whether just energetically or in a love way, like a lover's way. I think you're supposed to be focusing on... I want to say work because it's the Eight of Pentacles, but I think you're supposed to be focusing on whatever your projects are right now, not necessarily so it was a no, Laura. Okay, I didn't see you, Cat Goddess. I see you now, babe. Sorry. But yeah, it was a no, Laura. Okay. Cat Goddess, you got the Ace of Cups. How are you going to question that? All right. You've been putting in a lot of work. You have been giving things your all, right? Whether this is just your outlook or in a physical sense, or, maybe you've been taking on extra tasks in order to get to this ace. Um, you could have a new relationship coming in for you for sure, but this is at least talking about a new beginning, all right? And you guys, with the aces, this is really talking about divine assistance, breakthrough type of energy. That's why often you can see the cards depicting a hand from the sky, all right? So it was no. for your hair, if that makes sense, Laura. Okay, let me see here. Level 8 MS. Oh, whoa, that was fast. Yes. MS. Do you think perhaps David's an emperor? You know what, Laura? Sometimes it depends on the shade of red, because I'm not sure. Yeah. Sometimes it depends on the shade because um sometimes it's like on the back end of changing the color you realize what all tones are in your skin and you go, oh. But beforehand it was like a great idea. You're very welcome, Cat Goddess. Happy Sunday to you, MS. It's actually Monday for me now, but yeah, the bleaching, oof. Yeah, that's not, that's, I don't know. I'd be afraid my hair would break off too much. I gotta use some hot oil treatments or something, gear up before I actually would strip my hair like that, I think. Yes, Emperor means yes. MS. Emperor means yes, babe. All right, you guys, it has been fun. I love you a lot, as always, and as ever. All right, thank you for being with me. Thank you for following the live stream rules. Thank you for sharing the channel. Share the videos, you guys. The algorithm literally needs to pick up. So I appreciate you guys helping our family grow, our high vibe tribe, as it were, so that I can get the free messages out and bless more beautiful souls like yourself. Okay, it doesn't cost anything. I'm not trying to rip money from you, I promise. Okay, just need some help with getting the channel a little bit more seen, please. Okay. So when you see that you are hitting the bell notification, check the all, not the personalized that it's, or not the default that it's going to be set at, so that you don't see much of anything happening. I want you guys to please, at least, even if it doesn't resonate, hit the like on the video. If you see a new upload, whether it's a live stream or not, okay, I would like that you at least check it out for a few seconds, please. All right. Oh, thank you so much for spreading the word, Laura. Yeah, as you're guided to, you guys, I'm not saying tell people who wouldn't really mesh well with us. Like, I'm very protective of the collective. I want us all to want to be here. Makes sense? But if you do feel guided, I mean, that's what I do when I'm in the streets. I'm like, oh, somebody says, I love your energy. Oh, you love my energy? Like, because I'm looking for us all to find each other. We're not necessarily neighbors in a physical sense, right? Yet we're all connected. And so that's why that's what I intend to use the platforms for, is to maintain connectivity. I'd really like you guys to share what you're doing in the community board. Like, oh, it's Friday, happy Friday. Oh, I'm looking at this right now. What do you guys think about this? Like, it's really supposed to be for us to share and express ourselves. It's not just about tarot there. So if you don't feel like talking about tarot, okay. What do you feel like talking about? If I ask you guys a question over there and you see the post, especially those that are liking it, could you answer the question? Like, I'm talking to you, babe. I love you, and I wanna express that, and I want to give you guys an outlet to express yourselves. All right, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. But at the same time, it seems like it has been something that you guys seem to be uncomfortable with. If that's the case, could you please give me clarity on that as to why? I'm very protective over the collective as well as the channel. So you shouldn't fear or feel unsafe here. And if there is a scenario where you do, please let myself know, let a moderator know, because that's not to be tolerated. I promise you that. Okay, this is our safe space. We are family. We are friends. We are star seeds united. We're care bears. Damn it, right? And I love you guys, and I want you to feel comfortable expressing yourself. Many of you don't even get to express yourself because the people around you don't care to hear what you would even try to express. And so, year after year, maybe you got a little rusty. Allow this to be part of the experience that heals that for you, and express. Okay, ask questions. All right, uplift each other. We're here to do that. It's okay. I love the Care Bears, you guys. Many years ago, my kid was messing around with her cell phone and she's like all filming and everything. She's like, Mom, what? I'm like, what? Because I didn't even know she was filming. And she's like, what did you tell your mom that you wanted to be when you grow up? And I was like, a Care Bear. Because that's literally the truth. Like my mom backed it up and everything. I was like, Mom, how cute is that though? Like my little, like I don't know. I send my inner child so much love because she didn't really receive that much. And so I take responsibility to make sure that she feels safe. And you guys, maybe I'm talking about that because maybe somebody is fear filled because their inner child is just rocked with the screaming wraith, like, energy. It happens, especially if you've been traumatized and abused, right? We're talking about it so that so that you're empowered enough to, go in and tell that child, you don't need to fear. I'm here. I'm in charge. All is well. You know, tell yourself what you need to hear. Do not expect an outside source to be a source of safety. Not in New Earth. New Earth, you understand. It's like they say, we are the kings and queens. We are the originals. I mean, you really, in New Earth energy, you'll tell if you're actually there because you'll be a lot more confident than your previous versions of self. And naturally, you won't have to, okay, I got the confidence. Not like taking a shit. Oh, I gotta strain, you know. Okay, now I'm confident. No, it'll just be like, I am that I am. Okay, in spite of fearful times, perhaps. It's a whole different ballgame. It's a vibe, like we talked about. Okay, there's levels to this, you guys. Please don't give up, but please do the work. Please take what you can get from these messages and apply them to your everyday lives. All right. I'm telling you that not because I'm the deliverer of the message. I'm telling you that because often is the case that I understand on a personal note, having done the work step by step and praying over again for help to do the work and trusting in myself and choosing me again and again at what works. Okay. And you deserve a great life, not even just a good one. So I implore you, please take heed. Please find what works for you as far as those healthy coping mechanisms. All right. Yeah, if you guys could, I get it, Laura, but I'm just saying for right now, if you see anything, maybe you don't connect with it, like the title is off, you guys, I get it. Can you just hit the, like, just be like, okay, but I stand in solidarity. Like, because somebody needs the message. Does that make sense, you guys? It will really help. And, to be clear, I don't have anybody's name in my mind or, I'm not like, I got a bone to pick with any one of you. I'm just saying I could use some help. And I appreciate those that will. That's all. Sometimes it is something that I do need to work on whenever, I do feel like I um, could have some more support. It's something that I'm still working on becoming comfortable with asking for help. But you guys are my people, and I should be able to ask for help without feeling like um, a bad person for it. Okay, so all I'm saying is if you rock with the channel, if you enjoy the messages ever, right? I can't say you're going to always enjoy, they're not always for you, right? I get that. General collective messages. Support the channel, please, just because it is part of the channel, at least for right now, you guys, so that we get over this algorithmic hump. All right. I'm not saying like we're not growing. I'm very appreciative that we are. I just I have this call and, dare I say, burning desire to get the messages um cast through a wider net so that more people can benefit from maybe the very words that they didn't know they needed to hear. Okay. And, I am mindful that, of course, I'm remaining faith filled for the channel, etc., etc. But like I said, part of my experience too, for such a time as this, is to get more comfortable with asking for help. And so that's why I implore you guys to please help your girl out. Okay, help the channel. It's not really just about me, but I know many of you, are my people for many reasons, right? I would at least think that you enjoy my energy the way that I enjoy yours, okay? And that's what I mean by just support, just because energetically you are connected to the channel as well as I, okay? Right. I'm not saying like everybody asks for help all the time. In fact, most often I'm saying we should be empowered enough to know that as long as you have yourselves, you have more than enough. But at the same time, I'm being obedient to spirit. So there's something about this. And to be clear, again, I'm not one that runs around going, "Can you help me? Can you guys help me? Can you get me this? Can you?" Right. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for getting me and hearing me and not being dismissive. It is a breath of fresh air because in my current times, I'm learning to overcome my current environment with people, really giving me receipts of how they don't hear me and they don't see me. And, so thank you for caring, especially on the other side of me asking for help. Thank you. That's something that I'm taking notes about as I speak this out. So thank you. And this is why I enjoy this, you guys. It is not about me being on a soapbox. It's very much about community getting together in a healthy manner to learn and grow our souls as we should, and in love and in light, right? Yeah, I think right now in a lot of ways, because I see what you're saying there, Laura. I think there is a bit of a shift, if I do say so myself, where with this next wave of like new earth energy, from what I can glean, we are to be a lot more communal. And it's awkward because many of us have been expected to be, asked to be in such spiritual hermitage, right? That you almost on at first, maybe you're like, oh gosh, why can't I have friends? Why can't I go? And then over time you go, no, this is fine, this is best, because so many people have hurt you, abused you, just talked bad about you, tried to smear you know your reputation, all this and that and the third, whether inside of a family, outside of a family, inside of a workplace, inside of a social circle or not, a church or not, right, etc., etc. And you just start going, less is more, right? But there is a shift. And it's so funny because I personally have found myself becoming a little bit more open to the idea of like collaborations again. And I have been hurt in so many times in the past involving collaborations. People just, um, jealousy is a bitch, right? And it's like, I think jealousy and money are like hand in hand with being up there as to what can make a person really show their ass, right? Get out of character, as they say, but really it's like the full on character without the mask. So there's that. But anyway, and I have found myself reaching out a lot more for help as well, right? Certain things in business matters, etc. Certain knowledge that I just have, in spite of being many years in my career, had yet to glean, things like that. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I see what's going on here, spirit. Like, it makes sense in New Earth. We wouldn't be just standing all still, separate and apart, but like next to each other, but not really, not addressing each other. Not, you know what I mean? Because New Earth is all about, I think of Belle at the beginning of Beauty and Beast at the marketplace, and she's all, with her flowy dress, and she's like, hello, hello, hi. Or like maybe for those that don't get that reference, maybe the latest Barbie movie, where it's, hi Barbie, right? She goes through the town, everybody addresses, and it's this boisterous, loving, sunshiny, kind of energy that would be completely apropos for New Earth. So it makes sense. Just saying, you guys. So allow yourselves to be stretched beyond the comfort zone as you always ever are asked to do from time to time. Okay, because again, we're here to learn and grow our souls. All right, and see what happens. I'm not saying trust everyone. I'm not saying, make yourself completely vulnerable and put yourself in precarious situations, whether physically, financially, or emotionally. Right. Of course, trust your intuition. It won't lead you astray. Okay. Unless you're fearing that it will, and then you're just going to be so off kilter that I don't know that you could accurately tap into the intuition. Sometimes that happens to you guys. That's why it's really important to check in. Hey, am I grounded? How am I feeling? Why is that? We good? We good? What could I do to make myself feel a little bit more comfortable? What can I do to make myself feel a little bit more in control? Right. And not over people, but in the sense of just over your maintaining the balance of your energy is what I meant by control, to be clear. You like quiet? Well, guess what? Other people like quiet too, and they'll sit together and read. You might hear the loud noise of turning a page, but that's about it, right? I know a lot of people that like quiet. I personally don't like quiet. I don't like super loud all the time, but I do have up to I don't even want to say. You guys will be like, what are you on? I literally will sit with like at least three different devices playing three different things on, and I'm paying attention or not to all three of them. But I think it's just like perhaps the nature of my job. Like I hear so much and take so much information in all the time that maybe in some weird way it just helps me not get rusty at doing that. I don't know. I think it's probably also a spectrum related situation. There's different sensitivities to sound from one person on the spectrum to the next. So I get that. But it's so funny because my roommate's dog, she loves to be with me. Like she will fight. She'll jump fences to be with me. Like she will damn near fight me to be with me. She's like, I'm gonna be in your room, right? And once it gets to be too busy with the devices, especially if the levels up enough, she cannot. She's like, I am out. Like I can't. I'm like, oh, oops, sorry, because I'll like either be completely checked into them or completely checked out. I go in and out, in and out. I'm still working on like aspects of dissociation, and I know it's from trauma, but um I know it's gotten a lot better, and I know with cleansing my meat suit, as it were, with the juice and parasite cleanses, that has helped a lot with that. So I do expect to get better at that, but there are still times where I just check out. I don't even know I'm doing it. I just stare. So if you guys ever see me and I just have like RB face and I'm just staring and like you say something and I'm just not I'm there but I'm not there. It's weird. All right, you guys. Yeah, and that's the other thing, energies. I think that's also why I try to go into the stores where it's not super people if I can help it. Like I'll be like late night, no problem. Like go, just get in, get out. Even if I don't feel like going in those hours, I'm like, yeah, it'll be better because less wait time in line, like less because the thing is, you guys, I mean, I know what it is about me, but like seriously, come on now because I could damn near be dressed in a trash bag, like looking like I rolled off of the hill in back of the store if I please, right? Because my comfy days, I don't give there's no makeup, there's sweatpants. Like it's not pretty, you guys, right? But they'll still like I could be looking at something and like I have had groups of people gather around me to be like, what are you looking, came from left field to the back of the store, and then why I'm it's like a loaf of bread. Like calm down, I don't even want the bread, I just wanted to know if they like swarm near me, and like that would be cool and all, I guess, but they like tend to like kind of get in the way of me to the point where now we have to engage because then I'm rude if I'm just like removing somebody from my armpit damn near without saying anything, you know. And sometimes depending on the day, I do a lot of energy work for myself and others. I do a lot of energy work for the collective without me being on this live stream. That's why I tell you guys I love and light you all the time. That's why I can't say it enough, because I feel a lot of what you're going through, sometimes even in my body. And, you know, that's part of the experience for me. I get that. I'm not complaining. But I just hope that you guys do know. I mean, even though I have to tell you some things maybe you don't want to hear, even though like the delivery is passionate because of either my heart in the matter or your spiritual guidance team, it's all born out of love. I love you guys, and I do believe in each and every one of you, right? I just ask that you do your part to believe in you too, so that you get. I want to see your success. I want to hear your testimony. I want to hear about the new job, the new love of your life, not just the new lover of the month, right? I want to hear about all of those things because I want all of those things for you every day, not just sometimes. Okay. So thank you for helping your girl out with the channel. I do try to come on here and help you guys out as best I can with the freebies. You know that. All right. So thank you for the reciprocity. I appreciate y'all that have already been doing reciprocity, if that makes sense, because I don't want people to feel. I always hit the. I know, babe. I know. I know. There is strength in numbers. That's all. I'm not saying it like your like is no good. Like, come on. I love you guys, and I'm not playing favorites because you all would have to be my favorite. You'd have to be classified as my favorite simultaneously. Okay, that's the way it works here. So thank you for hanging out with your girl. You definitely keep me going, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And I look forward to the next live stream. Not sure exactly when that will be, but in the meantime, please stay tuned to the channel for uploaded content of any kind, and even especially the community board page. Please say something, okay? Um, I try to keep conversations going and I try to fill you in on what I'm doing. I'd love to see pictures of are you taking class? Are you going for a walk? Are you feeling some sort of way? You know, you can put it in there. All right. And I will see it. I maybe won't see it like immediately because sometimes YouTube does not notify me. I had that even with Facebook. I think it was yesterday. I was like, oh my God, this has been several hours. And it never said like you had a message or you had a comment or whatever. It happens, you guys. I'm not perfect as well. Right. But I do love you a lot. And I do hope that you will share more of yourselves with me so that I don't feel like I'm just bleeding out on here all the time. Because I'm really not a person that's like me. All right. So I'd love for a little bit more tit for tat in a positive, healthy way, of course, right? On the channel in the ways that we can. And that's why I opened that community board page up so that we could do just that. Okay. Your nephew is cute, Fiona. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be something like super momentous. It's like, oh, I found this flower. Look at this. Okay. Thank you. That's neat. What else she got, right? Doesn't even have to be pictures. I don't know. I don't think you have to put a picture just to say things, but I know many people do in other community pages. And I was thinking, I wonder why those people, like, how are they feeling so confident to post? I don't know if because I'm like, am I doing something wrong? Like, because that shit looks like my diary over there. I'm like, no, I am not trying to put my diary on freaking YouTube or anywhere, right? Love and life, Anita. So thank you for peppering it up over there with a lot less of me, okay? Because that was triggering the other day. I'm like, oh, this is just looks like I'm one of those people that just love to hear myself talk and nobody else can say anything. Like, no, come on, I'm not Regina George. Oh, are you guys making the food, Fiona? Or is it just like are you gonna have like a maybe like a restaurant experience and teach them? That's pretty. You know what, not to be offensive, I wish that I could learn more about that because, and I probably told you this before, long story short, there was a restaurant that I don't currently have access to anymore, um and there was like this certain platter, right? And it had like, I don't know what on it. I just know what the platter name was. And so now I don't know how to find those foods. Like if I go to another restaurant, because there's like restaurants here I could go to, but I looked at their menu online and I go, and none of this seems familiar. So I go, oh, I don't know what I like out of, because I know I don't, not to be rude, I know I don't like everything. Like just because it's that type of cuisine, I'm not necessarily going to like everything, but those things, whatever they were, and there was like five different things on the platter, they were so good. Oh my gosh. And guess what, I don't even know if I was putting the sauces on the right things, because I always got it takeout, because my daughter would like go and like order and get it, and so I would receive it in takeout, and there was like a green sauce, but it wasn't spicy, like it wasn't like a pepper or anything, and then there was like this brown sauce, and I'm like, I don't know, but like, and then I just kind of started putting the sauces on like multiple things, because I was like, oh, it all tastes good. I don't even know what the sauces were. And I miss it. I miss that, like my that Indian food, whatever it was. Oh, it was so good. Anyway, you guys are going to the restaurant. Um, see, I don't know. Let's see, I don't know if I had anything with curry in it though. I'm not sure. And I don't eat meat, so like it wouldn't have had any meat in it. So like it wouldn't have been like curry chicken, anything like that. Oh man, I wish I could go to the restaurant, because I only know, like, I only have one Indian friend here, and you know how like you know how like sometimes guys get nervous to like be your friend because I don't know, a couple different reasons, and so I don't think that's really gonna fly, and I don't really want to push it, and I also wouldn't know what I was looking for on the menu, so it might be this whole ordeal just to get there and not have to be like alone to navigate the menu, and I still won't know how to order what I want. So I was like, it's fine. I'll get Indian food whenever it's meant to be next time. And it may not be the same food, I get that, but I'm sure it'll be a great experience. And I hope that it's a wonderful experience for you and your family, Fiona. That sounds awesome AF. Maybe take a picture of some of the food and put it in the community board or whatever. You don't have to, but samosas, that sounds familiar. Oh man, that sounds like fun. Was your dad like, did he like, was he like a, not like a foodie, but like, I don't know, some people are like, they get quite passionate about food. And man, Chicago, I always wanted to go there. And I always, like on the travel channel and stuff, I saw like all the restaurants and things that they have with like these huge sandwiches and stuff. Now, I don't eat meat, so I'm not exactly sure what all I could actually chew on in Chicago, but I would try. I've always wanted to visit. Juanita, I forgot to tell you, babe, do you have a question? All right, if you do, I need you to like for the free tarot, you don't have to, but if you do, I'm gonna ask that you scroll up in the chat to see in all bold caps the live stream roles so that you can pop that in, because I'm gonna hop off this live stream. We've been at it for about 2 hours now, babe. And I don't want to be rude to you and hop off since you were so nice and cordial. If you're still on with us, I wanted to be sure that you could. Oh, thank you, Fiona, that you could get your free tarot message as well. Okay, because everyone else got theirs. I'm over here yapping away. I didn't even realize. All right. So, how did you guys feel about the change? I'm not gonna always do it this way, but I thought it was kind of a little neat to do the archetypes for the person I'm reading for, instead of just the initials all the time. I mean, even with the initials, it's not like all of your initials always would come out, even though you know it resonates. And same deal with these. But I just thought, because usually we use these to find out, um, you know, for somebody on the other side of a lover situation or some sort of situation. And tonight, I thought it was pretty cool. It was all about you. All right, so you know what? Maybe Miss Juanita is no longer with us. That's okay. Love and light, you guys, and thank you so much, Fiona, for all of your hard work tonight. Thank you, everyone. for being here. I wasn't sure who all could make. Why is my hair doing this? Who all could make it? And I really appreciate you guys trying to give me some of your time and checking in, because it feels good when you do that. All right, thank you guys for everything, and please go rest. Love and light.